你觉得你能找到这样的人吗？
没本事的男人当然不会找我，只有优秀的男人才配得上我。
我觉得你说的太对了。
In a matchmaking interview, a matchmaker from Hefei first asked a woman to briefly introduce her basic situation. The woman calmly replied, "I'm 40 years old this year, and I've never been married. I have a postgraduate degree." She continued, "I'm currently a middle-level manager at a state-owned enterprise, with an annual income of about 300,000 yuan. I'm also a local resident of Hefei. I own both a car and a house, and my parents are both retired from government institutions." The matchmaker nodded in approval after hearing this, saying she didn't look 40 at all, and that not only was she good-looking, but her overall family background was also quite favorable. Then she asked if the woman was willing to share her criteria for choosing a partner. The woman smiled and said, "My criteria for choosing a spouse are actually very simple. There are only 9 requirements in total. As long as these 9 points are met, I can accept everything else." She then listed in detail her 9 partner selection criteria. First, the man must own a school district apartment in downtown Hefei, and it must be purchased in full. No loans allowed. The area of the house must also not be less than 200 square meters. Second, the man's annual income must be over 800,000 yuan. Third, after marriage, all of the man's income must be handed over to her for management. In other words, the entire salary must be submitted to her. Fourth, she clearly stated that she cannot accept living with the man's parents, not even temporarily. Fifth, every year, the man must pay to arrange one international and one domestic trip for her parents. Both are mandatory and cannot be missing. Sixth, on traditional holidays, they must go to her parents' house first to celebrate, and only afterward can they go to the man's house. When the matchmaker asked whether they could alternate, she firmly responded, "No." Seventh, after the child is born, a live-in nanny must be hired to take care of the child's daily needs. Elders are not allowed to interfere with the child's upbringing and education. Eighth, she said she has a clear plan for the child's education. In the future, the child must be enrolled in an international school to prepare for studying abroad. Ninth, the man must never have been married, nor have any history of cohabitation. His academic qualification must also be the same as hers, a postgraduate degree. The matchmaker, after listening to all 9 of her requirements, couldn't help but sigh.
他40岁，没有结过婚，跟女朋友谈的时间也不能过长，还要跟你一样学历，都是研究生，一年80万以上的收入，然后全部还要给你。
是的。
还要每年回家都是要去你家。你觉得你能找到这样的人吗？
没本事的男人当然不会找我，只有优秀的男人才配得上我。
我觉得你说的太对了。
刚刚我拒绝了一个26岁女孩的脱单服务，这个女孩有6条的择偶要求。
Just now, I turned down a 26-year-old girl's request for matchmaking services. She listed 6 criteria for choosing a partner. Let me break them down for you. First, the man must be over 1.8 meters tall. Second, his annual income must exceed 500,000 yuan. Third, he must own a fully paid-off house within the city of Shanghai. Fourth, he must be no older than 30. Fifth, his parents must have a retirement pension. Sixth, he must have at least a bachelor's degree. We're not even going to discuss this girl's own qualities. Just talking about these 6 requirements, if a man can meet even 2 or 3 of them, he already qualifies as a high-quality man in Shanghai. If a guy can meet all 6, do you really think he'd still be single? Now I truly realize that many women share one common mindset: whatever they have, their partner must also have, and even better. For example, I'm 1.68 meters tall, so the guy must be at least 1.80. I'm 26, so the guy must be no older than 30. And she's asking for an annual salary of 500,000 yuan. Have you ever thought about how many years of grinding it takes to reach that level of income? And on top of that, the guy has to be under 30 and already earning that much? That's extremely rare in real life, not to mention the house in downtown Shanghai has to be fully paid off. Many people in Shanghai can barely manage the down payment, yet she demands that the house be fully paid. Do you realize that every time you add another keyword to your partner's standards, it's like placing a filter on a search engine, your matches drop dramatically? Let's simulate this. In my database, if we randomly pick 100 male applicants, about 30 meet the first criterion, over 1.80 meters tall. Among those, only 10 have an annual income over 500,000 yuan. Among those, only 5 own a fully paid-off property in Shanghai, and among those, only 1 is under the age of 30. This one guy also happens to meet requirements 5 and 6. But do you know what kind of girls this guy looks for? His standards for looks are almost 1 in 100. And it's not just about appearance, he also looks at your family background, your job capabilities, and your income. You need to understand, the girls he chooses aren't ordinary either. So I want to say, when you list 6 hard criteria for choosing a partner, if you meet a guy who fits even 2 or 3 of them, that's already pretty impressive. He's worth getting to know. Don't be so picky and insist on someone who ticks every single box. You think you're waiting for the perfect one, but in the end, the only one left might just be yourself.
找一个同龄的未婚的优质男哈，想都不要想了，几乎是不可能的。
If you're a woman over 35 and you're still fantasizing about finding a man who is your age, never married, and has excellent conditions, then I advise you to wake up as soon as possible. This kind of thing. Seriously, don't even think about it. I myself am about to turn 35, and honestly, I've never understood who came up with the term high-quality leftover woman. Which self-proclaimed elite older lady slapped this fresh label on herself? It's just not realistic, okay? In the marriage and dating market, whether you are high quality or not is like buying something. It's decided by the buyer, not the seller. Some women always like to say, although I'm 35, I look like I'm 25. But as age increases, sagging eye corners, sagging chest, every part of the body starts sagging. Please tell me, does that feel the same as a truly firm and energetic 25-year-old girl? Can you still create miracles as you get older? Sisters, I sincerely suggest that you recognize reality. Don't shatter like glass the moment you hear a hard truth, and don't believe those toxic chicken soup quotes online. I've been in the matchmaking industry for over 3 years, and up to now, I have never seen a single 35-year-old, never married high-quality man come to me and say, please help me find a high-quality leftover woman over 35. They would think that's crazy, right? It's simply impossible. If you truly still want to get married in this lifetime, then you need to calm down and seriously think about what your core needs are in marriage. If what you care about most is the man's financial status, then you need to loosen up on the age and marital history requirements. If you care more about a man's looks and age, then you must accept that he may fall short in income or assets. Learning to prioritize is the smart choice. Just think about it. A man around 35 years old, never married, owns a car and a house, has a bachelor's degree, earns 500,000 yuan a year, and is good-looking. Do you really think he has remained unmarried just to wait for a high-quality leftover woman over 35? I'm really not trying to crush your hopes, but the truth is, reality never leaves much room for fantasy.
我89年，今年36岁。
I was born in 1989. This year I'm already 36 years old. After one more birthday I'll be 37. Up until now I still haven't gotten married. Not only that, I don't even have a stable relationship. In fact, several years ago people already labeled me as a leftover woman. My friends who are the same age as me, their kids are already in high school, some even about to graduate from university. Every time I see how grown up their kids are, the feeling of disparity in my heart is really hard to describe. And me? I don't even know where the father of my child is, let alone have a family or a career. If you say I'm not anxious, not panicking, no one would believe it. I truly want to get married now. I'm also actively trying to find a suitable partner. But reality tells me it's really, really hard. If life could start over again, I definitely wouldn't be so picky and have such high standards when I was young. I would have settled down into marriage early and never wasted so much time fantasizing. Because it wasn't until I truly passed the age of 35 that I deeply realized, even if I'm willing to pay a bride price myself, I still might not be able to find someone to marry me.
I'm exactly what you people call a 38-year-old leftover woman. Born inside the second ring road of Beijing, now living beyond the fifth ring road. I have a car, a house, and a stable job. If it weren't for work, I probably wouldn't even see the sun before noon every day. Even the kitchen hasn't seen me for the past 3 days. The person I see the most every day is probably the delivery guy. The only thing that can get me out of bed might just be making money, spending my own money, earned by myself. Whatever I want to buy, I buy it. Wherever I want to go, I go. No one can tell me otherwise. I take care of myself, and I take care of my parents. I have no mortgage, no car loan. My parents are still in fairly good health, so I don't have any burdens. You all must say this kind of life is way too comfortable. But maybe the loneliness in reality is something only I can truly understand.
Many people still believe that older leftover women have a market. But in reality, their fate has long been priced but with no demand. There are still quite a few people blindly clinging to the outdated statistic that there are 30 million more women than men in China, not realizing that the number of female bachelors in China has already approached 100 million. Some divorced women even dare to openly set their prices, aggressively listing marriage conditions, fantasizing about making a profit from marriage and acting as if the market owes them something. But the truth is, no one is both foolish and rich at the same time. Those who are truly wealthy are usually not easily fooled. These so-called older fairy women are now obsessed with studying various emotional shortcut tactics all day long, like making a man spend 1 million yuan with just 3 sentences, or making a man instantly lose his mind and become a fool. Such absurd theories. To be honest, it's not that I look down on these older fairies, but they really overestimate themselves and underestimate men. Even if you do find a rich man's foolish son, you have to know his parents are definitely sharp as a tack. There are also many older fairies who see a 30-year-old man and call him a middle-aged uncle. But they themselves are already 35 or 38 years old and still call themselves little girls. They even think they're still young. Many of them love to argue with others online, always believing they're very outstanding and still in demand, thinking that worst case, they could just find a younger guy. I just want to ask, what's the point? Even if you win the argument, so what? Has anyone actually wanted to marry you because of it? At the end of the day, some younger men date you just for fun, but when it's time to pay the price for the relationship, is he willing to? You have to understand, matriarchal societies existed for 30,000 years, yet they couldn't even guarantee basic food and shelter. Patriarchal societies, on the other hand, have only been around for 3,000 years, and already they've achieved manned spaceflight. What do you think of these older fairy women who see themselves through a filter? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments and help more people see the reality. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. See you in the next video.